organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, a march for justice, what Iowa City residents are doing to protest against the killing of an unarmed Florida teenager.
And later, does going green cost students more green? We'll take a look.
You might have noticed the construction around the Iowa athletic facilities. In sports, see the progress that has been made thus far.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Welcome to Daily Iowan TV. I'm Christina Targos.
And I'm Brad Maxwell. A national controversy made its way to Iowa City Monday evening as University of Iowa students marched for a boy they didn't even know. The Million Hoodie March movement has swept across the country after 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot by a neighborhood watch volunteer in Orlando last month. Students wore hoodies to protest racial profiling. The Iowa City Facebook group says a black person in a hoodie isn't automatically suspicious. Nearly 1,000 students RSVP'd on Facebook, and those who participated had a moment of silence for Martin, a march for justice and a speak out where people could voice their feelings.
My firm belief is that tonight is not enough. If we just do this event tonight and we don't continue to do the work, I think tonight was pointless. Like, we have to keep doing the work.
The shooting has caused Orlando Police Chief to temporarily step down, as well as increase pressure to charge neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman for the killing.
It's caucus season here in Iowa again, but this time with students. The University of Iowa Hawkeye Caucus is a group of students dedicated to informing Iowa lawmakers why the UI is worth supporting and what it's doing to make Iowa life better. The student group was started by UI President Sally Mason, and they plan to lobby for university funding on Tuesday in Des Moines. The aspects of the school participants plan to showcase the lawmakers range from education and healthcare to research and economic development.
A nearly two-decade-old case resurfaced in Iowa last Friday after a U.S. district judge threw out the death sentence for a woman involved in an execution-style killing of 5 Iowans back in 1993, according to the Associated Press. Dustin Honkin and Angela Johnson were on death row for the gruesome murder of 2 drug informants, the girlfriend of one of the informants and 2 children, in an attempt to protect Honkin's multi-state methamphetamine drug ring. The victims were shot in the back of the head before being buried in a shallow grave outside of Mason City. The sister of one of the victims announced Monday that she was disappointed the death sentence was thrown out, but hopes the alleged murders at least get sentenced to a life behind bars, that a trial can come at the end so that no more taxpayer money is wasted. Lawmakers continue to pull through the 448-page case.
The University of Iowa puts a lot of funding into going green, but Daily Iowan TV's Reed Chandler looks into whether a greener university means higher student costs.
They call it the whistle. It's blown 4 times a day since the University of Iowa coal plant was started in 1925. And while within the next 10 years this tradition is likely not to change, what's inside the plant will.
We're seeing more and more regulations with regard to using coal as a fuel, and we want to stay ahead of that trend.
And the UI's best bet to staying ahead is biomass. It's anything biodegradable, in Iowa most commonly corn, oat, and grain seeds, and they can be used in place of coal. Some biomass boilers have even already been installed. But biomass isn't the only sustainability effort on campus. Windmills, electric cars, solar panels, and a school-wide recycling system help keep energy costs down. Here at the University of Iowa coal plant, roughly 75,000 tons of coal are burned every year. But through the university's Vision 2020 program, they aim to add more biomass boilers by 2020. And what they've already added in biomass boilers, they've saved $680,000 off their coal contract just this year alone. But does spending so much money for sustainability efforts save the UI more than it costs? The answer is yes. Like every other department at the UI, the Office of Sustainability's budget is decided by the Board of Regents, and any further spending comes from grants or donations, and the savings they create are used in a productive way.
It's our policy at the University of Iowa that when we find those cost savings, those are then rolled into further energy conservation measures.
But what could cost students more on their tuition is a proposed green fee. It's an annual $2 fee proposed by University of Iowa student government and inspired by 41 other schools who have one. The idea would be to put 60% in savings for larger efforts in the future and 40% as grants to students who wish to do their own energy projects.
There's already going to be a $2 increase in the student activity fee for next year, and so we were just going to propose that increase be allocated towards sustainability. So it'd be really, no one would be paying anything more, it'd just be allocating that.
So in the long run, going green doesn't really cost more green. Reed Chandler, Daily Iowan TV.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, it's election season, at least at the UI. We take a look at how the UI student government candidates, their issues, and their parties.
And in sports, see what athletic faculty athletes have to look forward to in the near future.
But first, let's check in with Daily Iowan TV's Alyssa Bergamini for a look at today's weather forecast.
Well guys, after a nice warm weekend, today dipped down into the 50s and was a little bit chillier than what we have been seeing recently. For Tuesday morning, you can expect the weather to stay in the 50s with a 30% chance of rain in the afternoon. The temperature will become warmer, reaching into the 70s. And lastly, expect a clear evening with temperatures reaching the high 50s. For a look ahead at the week, temperatures will remain in the 60s, but watch out for a slight chance of thunderstorms later on Friday. And you might see a lot of cloud coverage during the week. Christina and Brad, back to you.
President Obama asked for more time for a missile defense system in an open mic gaffe today. He asked Russian President Dmitry Medvedev to give him more time because of his upcoming election.
This is my last election. Yeah, after my election, I have more flexibility.
Yeah, I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and understand.
Republican presidential candidates are criticizing the president for his remarks. They say he's putting national security at risk for his re-election.
Governor Terry Branstad signed a law Monday allowing parents to obtain birth certificates for stillborn children. The mothers who lobbied for the bill made the case that after labor and delivery, a document recognizing the child's birth is important to them. The bill passed unanimously in the House and then again in the Senate, and Iowa is the 33rd state to pass such a law. Iowa has about 200 stillborn babies each year.
The University of Iowa student government campaign season starts today. Daily Iowan TV's Ryan Jones was there at the kickoff in this week's political update.
Thanks, Brad. Now, the University of Iowa student government could officially start campaigning at 12 o'clock this morning, and at least for the I-Party, it started off with a party.
The I-Party, led by Nick Pottebaum and Jesse Tobin, kicked off their season with a party at Airliner. They passed out shirts and started spreading the word about their campaign and what they stood for.
Our biggest issue is making sure that students are informed, improved, and impacted on every issue that we do, that we're going to address on our platform for the upcoming year, for 2012-2013.
The hashtag party, led by Sunny Kothari and Nick Rolson, took a different approach, not throwing a party, instead embracing their name and used social media at midnight. They sent out Facebook invites to everyone they knew, getting their message out.
We're focusing on student engagement. Now what that means is that we want to spend money, we want to focus our attention back to the students. And I know it sounds cliche, but
the campaigning will go on for 11 days, ending with students voting on the 4th and 5th of April. It'll be up to students to decide who they think can lead the best. The candidates themselves have different opinions on that.
Brian, I have a lot of experience in student government, but not only that, but I've worked with a lot of different communities on campus, from residence halls to academic organizations to social organizations.
Given my experience as Speaker of the Senate and the 2 years previously in student government and my record of experience, that we can best equip to build relationships, build the trust, and impact change on campus.
And with bar crawls and media frenzies planned by the campaigns, it should be an interesting race. Back to you at the desk.
Now for a look at what's going on outside of Iowa City. Pope Benedict XVI visited Cuba today on his final stop in a two-country Latin American tour, making this his first papal visit to Cuba in 14 years. The Pope recently criticized Cuba's Marxist political system, saying it, quote, no longer corresponds to reality, end quote. Pope Benedict will fly to the capital city of Havana on Tuesday, and on Wednesday he will partake in a mass on Havana's Revolution Plaza.
And high school baseball players in Indiana extended a helping hand to a family in their community. Stephanie Decker, wife of Silver Creek High baseball coach Joe Decker, lost both of her legs while protecting her children when a tornado ripped through their home in Henryville. The family also owned a home in nearby Sellersburg, and members of the Silver Creek baseball team worked on renovations to make the house wheelchair accessible for when Stephanie returns home.
And after being dealt a one-year suspension by the National Football League for his involvement in a bounty system, calling for his vicious hits on opposing players, Sean Payton has approached Bill Parcells to act as interim head coach for the Saints during 2012 season. According to ESPN sources, Parcells boasts a 172-130 record during his 22 years as an NFL head coach, which included stints with both the New York Jets and Giants, as well as the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys.
And now we'll see what's happening in Hawkeye sports with Daily Iowan TV's Nick Robertson.
Thanks, guys. Iowa men's basketball coach Fran McCaffrey released a letter to the Iowa Hawkeye fan base on the UI Athletic website today. The letter was in response to the increase of the average attendance seen in Carver Hawkeye Arena as compared to last year. In the letter, McCaffrey wrote to the fans, "On behalf of our players, coaching staff, and staff, I would like to thank you for your support of Iowa Hawkeye basketball this season." He went on to say, "We look forward to generating more memorable Hawkeye basketball moments in the years ahead." And speaking of next season, Hawk fans can already start anticipating the 2012-2013 football and basketball seasons. The University of Iowa Athletic Department has announced that the student season tickets will go on sale Wednesday morning on their website. The tickets include packages for the football and basketball seasons. There's also an option for students who will not be able to attend the football game against Nebraska over the Thanksgiving break. If you've ventured over toward Kinnick Stadium recently, you've surely noticed quite a bit of dust, rocks, and construction taking place. The Iowa Athletic Department is in the process of building a brand new indoor practice facility for Iowa football. But Daily Iowan TV Sports' Chelsea Burns takes a look at how the project is both positive and negative to other UI athletics.
The center of Hawkeye Athletics is getting a makeover.
We got a lot of things going on around here, around this building in particular. It makes it tricky to get into work right now, but we're certainly excited about the indoor facility going up, and it was good to see the structures starting to take shape. I know a lot of people are real excited about that.
From practice to recruiting, the new Iowa indoor facility being built seems to be catered around Hawkeye football.
They do factor into recruiting, and if you don't admit that, thank you. If you don't admit that or recognize that, then you're probably ignoring the facts. So it is important in recruiting.
But with little distance between the construction and the Hawkeye baseball field, it's not just the football program that has had to make adjustments. The tink of the baseball bat on a weekend afternoon is heard right alongside the sound of a tractor. Parking is difficult. Getting to the front gate of Duane Banks Field is difficult. And even playing outfield is a little more of a challenge with the looming structure being built.
Outfielders, it's a little different look because it's a white background, so that might play a little bit differently for our guys.
Hoping to be completed by the start of this football season, work is being done around the clock, causing a bit of chaos for all who wear black and gold. To coaches, though, none of that should matter.
If it's bothering any of our guys, they're not focused enough.
Because when it's all said and done, the facility will benefit everyone.
That thing's going to benefit us a heck of a lot more than a little distraction that it's causing us right now.
Now, it's just a matter of making it through the season. Chelsea Byrne, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Phase 1 of the project will be complete in September, with the second phase beginning shortly after that. Full brand new locker rooms for all the athletic programs using the new facility. So a lot to look forward to in the coming years in Iowa athletics. Back to you guys.
Before we leave you tonight, check this out. Sports fans are often tremendously loyal to their team, but this couple in St. Louis took that loyalty to a whole new level. Eric Dulé and Stephanie Miller tied the knot at their St. Louis Cardinals-themed wedding over the weekend. The groom, as with most of the men in attendance, sported a Cardinals jersey, while the bridesmaids wore red dresses. The altar was even decorated to resemble a baseball diamond.
Now, I wouldn't be too surprised if there's ever been a Hawkeye-themed wedding here.
I know, I might have some plans for my future.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into the print version of Tuesday's Daily Iowan.
Read about how Governor Branstad's opinion on Iowa lawmakers' involvement with state tuition.
Plus, what some local business owners plan to do about a Coralville, Iowa city turf war.
Well, that's your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.